Up until now, I've been winging it on YouTube. What I've been doing is just talking because the idea is I just wanted to start the channel because I've been talking about this for months and it's time to just create content. But here's the thing. As I was studying what I wanted to do, I realized that it was really about keeping people engaged. Now, I want to show you how I'm going to use AI in order to create the scripts that I want to make sure that my content actually gets out there and creates the value that I want to create in the world. So the idea is that I took one of my favorite influencers. Actually, I want to show him. His name's Matt Wolfe. He is awesome. He's awesome. Okay, so he's one of the best. He's one of the best influencers for AI and what's going on. Basically, an AI news personality. So Matt is really great. So what I did was I took his transcripts. Hey Matt, I hope you don't mind. I know you're going to see this on YouTube eventually. maybe not. I don't know. And it's so great. And because you've helped me out so much, I want to first of all share this with my audience. But then I took a script, and the idea is that I want to take the framework of the script, not the script itself, because thankfully I'm not really talking about AI like Matt is. What I'm doing is connecting AI to the art world. But again, we're talking about frameworks. Frameworks to me is how you structure your content in order to create the effect, right? So I did this with IG where I created a 1-minute framework. So every time I put an idea into the chat, what's going to output is the framework of a really high converting IG post that I like. Here's a hint. Any influencer that you really dig, really listen to, go through all their content, maybe from, even if it's a minute or if it's a podcast, whatever, that's probably a reflection of a part of the style that resonates with you and resonates with your audience. All you got to do is make sure that you don't take yourself out of the equation. And you make sure that the way you deliver things, it still feels nice. Here's how I knew that this framework worked the first time, is when I actually read the script verbatim, it felt natural. My biggest issue was I was finding that scripts were hard to read because it wasn't me. And what I started to do was, well, let me take the what I conceptualized is let me take the framework of this and put this into ChatGPT and say, I like this, and it speaks to me. How do I speak like that? And that's essentially what the lesson is today. So thanks, Matt, for the transcription. What I did was I went over to Claude and I said, we're going to play a little game. I said, hey, Claude, let's play a game. This is going to be a deciphering of a transcript from YouTube. I like to create a mathematical formula that I could give to a GPT so that the transcript always follows the flow of this really high-performing transcript for new data. And like a good chat window does, so I gave it some more context, and well, I'll tell you the context because I actually think it's important. It asked me what do I mean by flow. Pasting rhythm, engagement patterns, questions, hooks. What's my end goal? Allows for new data. Basically, new data is I want to talk facts and I want to talk from my editorial space. So I gave it some more context. And now it says, all right, let's go. So now I give it the Matt Wolfe transcript. And it says, I see what's going on. So now it analyzes how the script goes. It was about a 37-minute video. I would imagine that, it doesn't have to be a length thing, but the principles are similar. We have now a YouTube script DNA formula. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to GPTs, and this GPT is basically my YouTube script writer. And now that I have a little bit of context, I can say, within parameters, how I want this to act. This is the beautiful thing. Great. So this is a conversation that actually started my IG journey, figuring out how to create a formula. So I'm going to tell it, because it already has a little context about how I want to think. Can we do the same thing for this time we're going to do this with YouTube. And what I'd like to do is give you the formula that Claude just created, and I want you to translate this into the algorithm that you just did. Now notice I give context and then ask a question each time. This is interesting, but I actually want you to take what Claude did and transcribe it to a new formula. This one is based on YouTube. Do you think this works for 15-minute videos as well as 30 minutes? Fantastic. Let's create a system prompt for a GPT that specializes in YouTube, knowing all of the things we just talked about. Please make this in the canvas. Now in the system prompt, I want you to, before any output, ask 3 to 5 essential questions to me before the article is made. So by the end of this, what I should have is a YouTube optimized GPT that's going to allow me to brainstorm, but the output's always going to be a script, so that as soon as I refine over time the conversation, at the end of the conversation, which usually is about, well, now my IG, let's see, my IG brainstorm today was 20 minutes. And I came with something which I really liked. It included a personal story, it included the thoughts I was going through in the day, and it included the lesson within it. I'm hoping that it's going to reduce my YouTube video time and especially increase the efficiency by making it easier for me to brainstorm and get the output that I need. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to another ChatGPT window. We're going to go to GPTs. We're going to create a GPT. Now, I'm guaranteed that there's something like this exists already, and if it works for you, it's fine. But here's the issue. I'm talking about customization. I'm talking about not sounding like everyone else while using other people's influences and good content as your guide. It's almost like you're changing how you're learning. You're also changing how you're taught. All right, here are the instructions, system prompt. Boom. I'm not going to read it because I want to get straight to it. We can use Stoicism examples. We can use Taoism. And we can use smart quotes from great leaders in the poet and African American space. The idea is that we're using the excuse of the 1% being about money as a reason to not pursue greatness. And I need to flip that on its head to empower people to realize that they are already top 1%. It's just that they have been hidden from their own talents with this kind of mentality. The target audience is artists and entrepreneurs and creatives that need to get over their imposter syndrome. Personal story is that that's what it took for me to actually snap out of who I thought I was because of what people told me I was. So it's been a long time. Am I just a saxophonist? Am I a graphic designer? Am I the job that I do? And that's the thing that my artist self has always pushed back on. And I realize I'm a creative, and I create no matter what the job is. To be honest, I think we should just see if we could find something from Marcus Aurelius, as a man thinketh, or Maya Angelou. I hope you see the power of this kind of thing. I want you to feel empowered by taking on influence from other people, because they are influencers. And I want you to break down why you like them, really dig in, and then take their best of, incorporate it into your world. Now, I'm not going to take 100% of this script. In fact, I told you, I'm really bad at staying on script. But what I'm really good at is frameworks. And I want to get his framework into my system so that it becomes more of my speech naturally. Well, that's it for the Blues Prince podcast today, y'all. Thank you very much.